The truck is a Peterbilt 567 IMT bed, 10,000 pound crane, 25-foot reach. It's got about 29,000 miles on it, so it's fairly new. Hopefully it'll last a lot longer. Hello, my name's T.R. Kirby. We're in Nashville, Tennessee with Reco equipment. We work on Liebherr equipment out of this branch in Nashville. We're going to do a truck tour today and show you what it's like working on Liebherr equipment. All right, so we'll start off with the truck tour here. This is the business end of the truck. So I've got everything labeled there. Nice battery holders on the door. DeWalt puck lights there, real nice. They're magnetic, they flip up. You can fold them around or twist them how you need to. We got our first aid kit up there, always real handy to get to. Up top there, coffee cans are a God-given tool to us because they can hold a lot of stuff, and my wife loves to drink coffee, so I tell her never to throw them away. I can always use more. Tool belt there, if you're going up on a tall piece of equipment, you don't want to be going up and down all day, so you try to put in there what you're going to use up there, or you think you're going to use. Of course, you got to have a radio on them long days. Lights galore, you never have enough lights. Keep all my small stuff up top, of course. The latest flyers and stuff, I don't know if you're going to promote that, but batteries, paint markers, just miscellaneous stuff that I know I'm not going to use every day. Your general multicolored zip tie to mark all the hoses. These things have over 100 hoses on them. Your Seal Glide, grinding wheels, brushes, Sawzall blades, cut off wheels, lily pads, stuff like that in there. This drawer's a mess right now. Allens, a lot of stuff we work on is Allens anywhere from a 3mm all the way up to a 19mm, and some cab bolts are even bigger than that, up to like maybe like a 27mm. Ratchet and wrenches there up to 1 inch. Those locking ratchet and wrenches are Mac branded, Mac tools. You can see I'll have a lot of DeWalt and Mac tools on here. You got to find that tool guy that's going to support you, and then especially being a field tech, the guy that's going to meet you, or you can call him and meet him on his route. So I don't mind giving him my business. Of course, we love Harbor Freight as well. Home Depot, Lowe's, they're all good places there. We got Harbor Freight V-groove wrenches, metric and standard. In the holders here, I recommend if you're starting out, get a set of those. They cost, I know, less than $100. They skip a 16, but they go all the way from 10mm all the way up to a 32. And then you have I keep these on there, the Expert twin flex heads. Got a couple of the old Blue Point ratchet and wrenches, old styles. Y'all probably don't see those very much anymore. And then my first specialty tool here, we took a extra 1/16" wrench I had, needed to tighten up a hydraulic fit in there, so we heated it up and bent it to a 90 so we could get in there. That was on a Merlo Roto rotating telehandler there. Worked on one of those before. So generally we go to Harbor Freight to get our stuff that we're gonna bend or mess up, or don't mind bending and messing up. Chrome sockets here. This is like a catch-all socket drawer. It's got my swivels, deep swivels, short swivels, and metric and standard. I know they don't make big speed Allens, so the next best thing that I have found is these gray pneumatics here. They're 1/2-inch drive swivel impact hex socket. So this set goes from 6mm all the way up to 19. If you can't get a good grip on something, always put it on your big 1/2-inch drive impact. I have the metric and standard set. Gray Pneumatics, a really good company. Good bang for your buck. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive, but they have specialty stuff. They make up to like a 2-inch drive sockets, if you didn't know that. They're online as well. Got the old big boy. This is the DCF 961 DeWalt came out with probably about a year ago or so. It's the highest rated 1/2-inch impact on the market at the moment. Got the DeWalt impact sockets in foam here, 1/2-inch drive. Goes up from 10mm to 36. Good set, doesn't roll around the truck at all. That's why I like the foam. I know more and more companies are coming out with foam sets. I just wish a company would more have fitments for these service trucks. Like this is a standard IMT body, IMT toolbox. So maybe somebody will pair with IMT one day to come up with kits. I know everybody wants to run something different, so that's a universal thing. This here big wrench drawer, the plier rack from Harbor Freight. You can set that up and store all your big wrenches in. Keeps them from tying up another drawer. Keeps them vertical here. You kind of know which size you're missing. Doesn't keep them rattling around the drawer. Also stores the big Knipex. I know there's a million ways to say that. I've heard it on the channel a bunch. But like he said, really good plier wrenches. When the filter won't come off, you can literally crush it and make it come off. Not your initial buy when you start out, but something that you need to save up for, because they will come in handy. Also have the smaller set there. Cordless ratchets here. Of course, your DeWalt sealed head, Mac short 1/4 inch head there. Really good. Mac makes the magnetic socket rails that you can do 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, or 3/8. And then Expert 1/4 inch drive master set there, impact rated. The expensive drawer, as I call it, all your right angle drills, jigsaws, lights, drills, grinders, sawzalls, palm sanders. We don't know what we're going to be doing from day to day, so we try to be best equipped we can when we go out to the job there. We're going to move on to the next drawer here. So this is another drawer we mainly work out here. We'll start from the top down. Extra case of brake clean there. Microfiber rags when you want to finish something or wipe your face with it. Really like the crocodile cloth power scrub rags. They do never dry. I've left that thing open and they're still moist and stuff. One keep some miscellaneous stuff there. I always need more adapter. Service wrenches, that's the best way so far I have found to store them, is on individual magnets. Just grab the which ones you need. Of course, I labeled these as well, so if another co-worker is with me on the job site, he can pretty much find stuff, or I can tell him which drawer and he can visually see it. Of course, safety glasses. Here I keep my battery adapter in here for if I need to charge a phone or flashlight. Caps, plugs. A lot of our stuff is DIN metric fittings, so we try to keep the generic stuff. We work on caps and plugs for those. Keep those in there as well. Line stubby, line wrenches, your flare nut wrenches, stubby wrenches in there. Extra wrenches as well if I need to cut one up or something. Just if somebody has loose wrenches, I'll go at a yard sale or something and buy them. Pawn shops is a big place I look to. Always find some good deals in there. And then some flex head Allen wrenches there that you can rotate either way. Mac Tools makes those in standard, metric, and Torx bits. Recommend getting those if you work on a lot of like real small stuff. Extra metric wrenches here. Can't have enough wrenches. I've got pretty much 2 of everything except, like, of course, the big ticket items, big wrenches and stuff like that. Screwdriver drawer, of course, they're not all in there. Some of them are in the bag. Picks, hose spoons here come in real handy. Installing, removing hoses. But this is one of the few snap-on tools I have. Terminal tools there in case we need to do some real extensive wiring harness diagnosis. Ratchets, extension. You know, normally try to keep a pair of safety glasses in there. Your drivers, your extensions, your wobbles, adapters and stuff. Everything that will fit in that drawer, I try to put it in there. Try to keep the other long ratchets and stuff in other drawers. Gloves here. Found these 14 mil blue latex gloves here. Really, really thick. We like wearing those at the trash transfer station, and got other gloves there as well. Other batteries. Can't have enough batteries. I know some people like air more than batteries. Me, it's batteries all the way. I've bought kits starting off, and now I can just buy tools to go with the kits. If they'll run a special at holiday time, that's when I'll pick up some extra batteries. More gloves down there. I like the Maxi Flex gloves there if I'm going to be wearing them for a long time. The axle box is what I call this box. Holds all the real long tools. Of course, this is where you start storing your cases and everything. Extra gloves, little work platform, your lay down mat. You can never have enough of those. That one's a Matco one there, and then I have one that my dad gave me, and then another Matco one here. Really good start off kit here. This is the Power Probe Professional Electrical Test Kit. Comes with a multimeter and a Power Probe 3. One of the first kits I started out. Really good kit. If you're starting out, lets you test voltage at sensors, wiring if you got a positive or a negative voltage. It does hook up to the battery, and you can send power to things. I have started a tractor off this that the solenoid was bad on the starter. We needed to get it out of the parking lot, and we were able to move it. That's what kind of sold me on that kit. I would recommend getting this kit if you are starting out. Your gear wrench, master hex bit set's got your long metric speeds, torques up to 19s, and your Allen standard 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch drive in that set. Your 1-inch drive socket set, Pittsburgh there, extra 1/4 inch drive socket set. On the doors here, I keep, not all over in kits, some fuses, electrical connection, Deutz, fixing parts like your 2-pin, 4 pins, 8 pins, so on and so forth there. The connectors and everything that go in there. On this side, we have an O-ring kit, flange O-ring, so your flat face O-rings there. External straight snap ring pliers. Really good set here. Icon extractor set. Really good bang for your buck. And they go up to a pretty large size that you can drill out and put into like up to like an M10 bolt, a really big size bolt, and then those will take it out. Starting at the top here where I keep all my electric tools, diag tools like multimeters, torque wrenches, ice scraper. We occasionally do have ice here in Tennessee, so I keep that in that drawer. Photo tachometer, so we have to test like fan speeds with reflective tape that come on from the factory. That's in there, just a cheap one picked up at Harbor Freight. Really good set is Sunex makes a 1/2 inch drive crow's foot set up to 2 inches. I do wish I had the metric set of that. Got the gear wrench set down to a 1/4 inch up to 15/16, and then the Sunex set takes over. Thin wrenches, found these at Walmart, of all places to find tools. Ultra thin wrench set up to 27. They do flip sizes there, really thin, lifetime warranty, so don't be afraid to use those. That was a really good find. I have used them and they have worked really well. It started off, last drill bit set I will ever need. If they run a good sale on the hyper step ones, I would trade these in and get those. 29-piece set, lifetime warranty on all the sizes. You got your long double jointed pliers there. I am looking for a double jointed pair of side cutters. I do have the long bit, long set in the back, but I do want a double jointed set of those to get into really tight areas. Matco right now exclusively has these hyper step bits, go bigger than a 1/2 inch with a 1/2 inch shank, so I can run it on my cordless drill there. Really good if you need to drill out like wheel studs or something like that. That's why I picked those up. It's for wheel studs. Really handy set. They are expensive, but really good. Left hand drill set there. Never used it, just picked it up because one day I might need to use it. So this is where I used to keep my large wrenches at till I found the trick with the plier rack. Oil filter wrenches, Craftsman's of those. Everybody of course needs a good old strap wrench to go on a 1/2 inch or 3/8 drive ratchet. Big jumbo crescent wrench here. One thing I know guys would really like this. This does grab the 4D batteries, and I have used it on my crane. So if you need to grab the big batteries, hook that to my crane, pick them up out there, keeps from having to come down a ladder or something with them. And then I do have the other set of the snap ring, the internal ones from Icon, Harbor Freight. Everybody always seems to like this drawer. Plier drawer, all shape, form, sizes, vice grips, locking pliers. I do have some true vice grips in there. Crescent wrenches or strip balls. Slip joint pliers, scissors, Mac hose clamp pliers here. They have the grooves in them for the hose clamps there. Really wide jaw there, spring loaded. Knipex makes really good like cutters there. cable cutters for small wires or something like that. Knipex, I would call it cobra grippers. Adjust to whatever size you need to. Really good. I have all 3 sizes of those. Those keep you from messing up fasteners and stuff like that if you don't want to get off the unit or something and grab a wrench. Hammers, punches, and pry bars, the smaller ones. Dead blows, I always try to keep a couple different size. Bought this right when I first started out. It's a Mac one. It held up really good, never had a warranty, it's never busted. Got that U-line order for free there. Expert came in a little set, a little small. Indexing pry bars there. Gear Wrench makes them. Of course they relabel them as whatever other brand there. Always come in handy there. Custom made punches and stuff. Really good for like if it's got a bolt seat in there, you can put it on your air jack or hand jack and jack it up out there if it's really tight fit. Press in there. Clamps if we need to hold a piece of metal together. Line up bars, lady foots, long punches, stuff like that. Really good drawer. Open it a lot. All right, we're here at the next box here where I keep my heavy duty fast charger. Runs off the generator. Keep it right here so I can just run the cord right up there, and normally try to keep the machine on this side. I'm trying to jump off. PB blaster there, old guy I knew used to call it Panther Piss. It stuck with me. Keep a go bag there. That bag's nice if you got to walk a ways, if you can't drive your truck to it. If I need to go work on something real quick out in the field from the shop, I could grab that and have generally what I need. Keep hose clamps in these. These are just cheap Harbor Freight containers. I have one DeWalt one because needed an upgrade for bigger bolts and stuff. Try to keep your general metric and standard bolts there. Hose clamps, Allen cap screws there, rags, a couple funnels on the door, magnetic trays there. This is like a junk drawer, as most people would call it. Keeps my extra quick mag plugs or quick adapter plugs there, some Seal Glide. If I need to lubricate gaskets or seals or everything. Another coffee can string if I need to tie it to a hose and pull it through. Painter's tape there, never know when you want to mark something up with that. Raining poncho there, never know when you might need a pressure wash or to start raining out there on the job site. Limited selection of air tools. I have 2 air hammers in there, cheaper air hammers, 3/4 inch drive, air impact picked up at a pawn shop, super cheap. Handy when we're doing track pads, like putting them back on before I have to lug the 1-inch gun around the whole day. Your air chucks, tire pressure gauges there. Try to keep those in there. Try to keep my funnels and stuff here in the lower drawer, so if they do have a little bit of residual fluid in them, they don't leak all over everything else. Oil drain tubes, funnel adapters here. This adapter goes onto a quart jug, a gallon jug, or a 5-gallon jug. Really good. Pick these up at Kubota. Really good pour spouts. It's just they need to design the buckets to have an air valve in them. This goes on your 2.5-gallon buckets. American. The Liebherr oil buckets have a different thread and don't work on those. So we have to go back to traditional funnel method there. Also the self-priming, call them jiggy pumps, but you sit there and jiggle it back and forth and it primes up and then siphons out fluid. Real good if you need to drain a fluid tank and the drain's hard to get to or covered in mud, or you need a little bit of diesel fuel to prime something. You can always get a little fluid out there. Keep a caulk gun in the side over there and a little saw over there if I need to cut something. On the top of the truck here, of course, you got your standard LED work lights. Boss Infinity 80 CFM at 100 PSI. Rotary screw compressor. Generally keeps up with everything we need to do. 5-gallon oil jugs. Like to keep my waste oil in there. They stay up there, fit in that groove nice. I'd like to put my water tank up there that I used to have on my old truck. We'll do that one day. Some of our trucks we run millers. On these trucks we got them with Lincolns. Good welder, does what we need to. We don't weld all day every day. That's why we don't have like the welder beds or anything. Generally use it as a generator. So it's a real good standard carbureted engine. Real fuel efficient. Don't have to put a lot of fuel in it when I run it. So this is a IMT DOM two body, Dominator two body. It has extendable outrigger out here, hydraulic outrigger on the other side, hydraulic back here, manual on the front, 10,000 pound, 25-foot reach crane. You can run a single leg of wire on the crane if you need to drop it in somewhere narrow and pick something up. Does everything pretty much we need to, picks up engines, all that good stuff. Of course, it won't continuously go 360, but it does move 360. So here in the back bumper, keep our long pry bars. These are all Mac strikeable caps there. We keep our pin pullers, miscellaneous clevises, hooks, shovels, hose to clean out undercarriages, just your long standard stuff, what everybody keeps back there. Hydraulic outrigger over here. This always gets last. Ram level cup, stays level, doesn't. You can leave your drink or whatever in there and drive down the road and it's not gonna spill out. I've driven left here and left like a energy drink back there and drove an hour and it still be back there. Of course, Line-X work bumper back here, America's greatest Wilton 8-inch Mechanics Pro Vice. I like this step design, doesn't take up that much space. So we'll move around here to the back of the bed. Of course, you got your two work lights back here. We installed these E-tracks to organize everything, keep my jumper cables for my battery booster, keep my welding leads, extra set of jumper cables, hooks and stuff, keep all my oil, 5-gallon buckets, spill kits, trash can. Of course, you got to have a cooler when you're out there by yourself. Keep quite a bit of fluid on the truck. Try to keep 11 gallons each, 5W, 5W30, 10W30 and 15W40. We keep some Liebherr fluids there. We do run Valvoline fluids as well. They make a lot of fluids for a lot of people. Keep cribbing, 22-ton jack stands back there. Everything we got is heavy, is big. So try to keep some timbers back there, 8-foot ladder, because everything we got is pretty much off the ground. Milk crates are a really good thing to store stuff. I have my tools from my last job back here, just in a Coke can crate there and a tool bag. Been working all day. Sometimes you don't want to put them all back in the drawer, so you put them in tool bags and crates like that, and then so you can clean them up, keep your tools clean, and put them back where they go. A little bin there, go on your E-track. Of course, you can run straps across the E-track. That holds cans nice if you need to grab one real quick. Got my air hose reels coming out here. These are the same size, just two different fittings there. Your small fitting adapter to your small fittings, with your next size up there. And then your big air hose there for my 1-inch gun. Another thing on this vise I like is I guess they sent it from the factory with these pads. They're rubber pads, magnet on the backside here, and keeps you from marring up anything you real delicate, like a fuel filter, fuel water separator housing. If you can't get it off with your hands, those are real nice to keep on there. Train controls are in here. Your screen control everything on the truck. My compartment lights, work lights. If my crane remote dies, I can recover the crane through the screen here. My air hose reels here. Keep a little jug of fluid there. Priming filters, funnels, grease gun. Try to keep the grease gun away from everything else because it likes to rub off on everything else. Blowgun there, sledgehammer. My craning straps there. Nice hung so they don't get dirty. I can visually inspect them all the time. Welding helmet there, auto darkening, my AC gauges there in the back. Wireless crane remote right there. Walk anywhere around the truck. Turn the truck up, on and off, operate the outriggers, turn the air compressor on and off, throttle up the engine all through the remote here. Tell how far I got it extended out, what angle I got it out, and how much weight I have on my crane. Over the axle box here, tap and die set up top there. That is a Mac set. Just find a good quality set for those. I had to replace my chainsaw with a newer one. The other one broke down. Cut timbers and stuff like that, or the machine might be in a bad spot and need to cut a tree limb off before you lift the crane up or something like that. Little catch pan there. Keep some extra clothes up there. Never know what you might get into, or cold weather, rain might hit it once. Keep jacket, Keep some extra spare parts up in here. Light bar I need to mount somewhere on the truck there. A lot of spare parts here, extra wrenches. My newest tools there, the 3/4 inch drive ratchet with the extensions on there. Scotch-Brite pads for cleaning faces on stuff. Clamps, extra zip ties, all that good stuff there. This drawer here, more miscellaneous stuff, little caps and plugs, little inverter I could hook up one day. Trailer adapters here, I found these. There is a Napa part number out there. You can change from 7-pin round to 7-pin flat. Get those at your Napa, and you can change from 7-pin flat to 7-pin round in the opposite direction. Keep some step bits there. Grease joint rejuvenator, greasing tools, grease certs. Always needed some of those. Duct tape, of course, everybody's got to have duct tape. This is where I keep all my knick-knack stuff. A lot of consumables like hose clamps, roll pins, cotter pins, copper washers, heat shrink connectors, terminal tools, regular washers, extra picks there if I break one, metric standard O-rings, just a bulk set there, just all extra stuff in that drawer. This is miscellaneous caps, plugs, keep some 3/4 inch drive sockets, Pittsburgh set, old SK set, some more hose clamps there, dead blow hammer, extra one, counterweight bolts, big long suckers, just caps, miscellaneous little plastic caps, adapters, hose clamps. That's kind of, I would say, my junk drawer that throw all those like extra flange fittings there if some break or something like that. Keep some little rubber pad there, like they recycle shoes to make that stuff, just to protect something. Try to keep all my grease tubes over there, keep them out of the way, anything from crushing them or puncturing them and getting grease everywhere. All right, we'll move on to my last two cabinets here. Really wide lifting strap here. I helped load some toolboxes one time with that. Keep my skill saw if I need to cut some boards for something. This is for a load leveler. Here we put our own hooks on the end to level a transmission one time to get it hooked up to the engine. Towing straps there, extra pair of boots back there. You could have a blowout any second, you won't know it. Hole saw kit there. Keep my gauges. Pressure gauges up to 600 bar down to 10 bar gauges. Vacuum kit there, really good set there. Axle nut socket set there for anything over 2 inches. I've got up to impact sockets up to 2 inches. If it's bigger than that, I can get that set. That set goes up a little bit bigger than that. Keep some purple power on the truck there, some genuine grease, 20-ton air jack there, big clevis down there if we have to pull something out of a pile or something like that. Like these little J hooks here, if you need to grab or something that's awkward, those make good bushing in there. This drawer over here, oxygen settling reels, keep extra jackets there if you need to lay them on something. And then like a shoulder welding jacket there, keeps you from getting too hot on them hotter days if you're welding or torching or using a Oxylance cutting system. Man's best friend. Right here, purple blue shop towels come in handy. If you know, they're your best friend. Oil dry mats, universal, so they'll soak up any fluids or anything leak out. Oil sample kits, take oil samples if something's under warranty. Extra rags there, Kevlar gloves, extra parts. Really like these quick disconnect pliers. I know everybody's been coming out with them. Pick these up at AutoZone, real cheap. This is the wrench extender. Really love these. I want the larger size as well. Of course, you can also put that 1/2-inch drive on the end of that to get even more. 1-inch drive impact gun down there. That is a Harbor Freight one. The disadvantage of it, it's got the trigger on the back. It is the death trigger. Don't set it down the wrong way. It'll try to take off on you. But it is the hardest hitting 1-inch impact gun out there on the market. My floodlight here, really like it if I need to light up a little area over an engine. Keep my level over here in case ever I need that, and then my striker as well. That's the truck tour for today. If you have any questions or comments, post them on the video. Hopefully we'll answer your questions in the best way possible.
Once again, head over to FortisHD.com for any tools, tracks, or parts you need. If you want to watch another video, you can click here.